8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news, edited by Danushka Madhawala and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. Sri Lanka's inflation rate rose to 4.2% in December. Health Minister says measles vaccine already administered to 91% of children. 6 police teams probing Beliatta shooting that killed 5. PMB buys paddy for first time and earns profit. Navy seizes 65 kilograms of heroin valued at 1,626 million rupees off Donra Head. An MOU has been signed on visa exemption for holders of diplomatic, official and service passports between Sri Lanka and Benin. In foreign news, Egypt rejects Ethiopia-Somaliland port deal. In sport news, Kohli to miss 2 England tests for personal reasons. The Department of Census and Statistics today said that Sri Lanka's consumer price inflation rate rose to 4.2% year-on-year in December from 2.8% in November. The National Consumer Price Index captures broader retail price inflation and is released with a lag of 21 days every month. Food prices rose 1.6% in December after falling 2.2% in November on the year, the Department of Census and Statistics said in a statement. Prices for non-food items, however, fell 6.3% in December from 7.1% year-on-year in November. Sri Lanka racked up record high inflation last year after its economy was pummeled by the worst financial crisis in decades, triggered by a plunge in foreign exchange reserves. 6 police teams have been deployed to investigate the shooting incident reported in Beliatta, Tangala this morning. According to police spokesman SSP Nihal Taldua, the special police teams were deployed to carry out investigations under the supervision of the Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police of the Southern Province. Speaking to reporters in Colombo today, the spokesman said the SDIG in charge of the Southern Province has appointed the following police teams to conduct the investigation. Health Minister Dr. Ramesh Pathiran announced a staggering 91% vaccination rate for measles among children, a crucial step in combating a recent resurgence of the disease after eradication. This achievement demonstrates the country's dedication to proactive health care. Speaking at a media briefing, Dr. Pathiran outlined further health priorities for 2024. Disease prevention takes center stage, with plans to bolster primary healthcare services and improve efficiency for patients. Prompt access to essential resources is also a key focus. However, tackling non-communicable diseases remains a major challenge. Over 20% of Sri Lankan battle diabetes, and the country holds the dubious distinction of having the highest prevalence of high blood pressure among over 35s in South Asia. Addressing these concerns and their associated complications like heart disease and stroke is critical for Sri Lanka's long-term health. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and we continue with local news. In the 2023 Yalla season, the Paddy Marketing Board requested financial allocations from the government to purchase paddy, but the Minister of Finance did not receive the necessary financial allocations for the purchase of paddy due to the purchase of paddy under the district and divisional secretaries. Despite requesting a loan from 2 government banks to buy paddy, the Paddy Marketing Board lost the loan as the Paddy Marketing Board had recorded a loss of 24 billion rupees for a long time. Minister Mahinda Amarweera stated that since there was a need to buy paddy under the Food Security Programme, he, as the Minister of Agriculture, instructed the Secretary of Agriculture to take a loan of 500 million rupees from the Farmers Trust Fund and give it to the Paddy Marketing Board to buy paddy. 250 million rupees worth of paddy was purchased from the loan, and the remaining amount could not be obtained. At a time when the price of 1 kilogram of paddy was at a price of 60 to 65 rupees, with the aim of giving a higher price to the farmer, the Paddy Marketing Board took steps to buy paddy at a price of 95 rupees per kilogram. As a result, the private sector bought paddy at a price of 105 rupees, so farmers did not sell paddy to the Paddy Marketing Board. By selling the purchased paddy and rice, the Paddy Marketing Board has managed to make a profit of 11 million rupees by purchasing paddy in the last Yalla season. The Sri Lanka Navy seized a local multi-day fishing trawler carrying over 65 kilograms of heroin and another multi-day fishing trawler suspected of assisting it during a special operation carried out about 100 nautical miles off Dondra Head. The operation also led to the apprehension of 11 suspects in connection to the smuggling racket. This special operation was mounted by the Sri Lanka Navy and the Police Narcotics Bureau, together with intelligence services, and 100 nautical miles off Dondra Head. During the operation, the naval ship intercepted a suspicious local fishing trawler in southern waters last Friday. A subsequent search of the trawler led to the recovery of 3 sacks stuffed with heroin weighing more than 65 kilograms and 76 grams, intending to be smuggled into the country. That ends the local segment of news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala.
Sri Lanka and the Republic of Benin on Saturday signed a memorandum of understanding relating to visa exception for holders of diplomatic, official and service passports. The MOU was signed in Kampala, Uganda, on the sidelines of the 19th Summit of Heads of State and Government of NAM and the 3rd South Summit. Sri Lankan Foreign Minister and the Foreign Minister of Benin signed the MOU on behalf of the two countries. The agreement facilitates holders of diplomatic, official and service passport holders of the two countries to enter and stay in the territory of either country for up to 30 days without having to obtain prior visa. The exemption will allow both countries to enhance people-to-people interactions and increase opportunities to develop trade and economic relations.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala.
This is Watchlight.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that action will be taken to minimize the traffic congestion in the Kaduwela area. Due to complaints made by the public, the minister recently observed the area and asked the officials to monitor the Kaduwela bus stand. Later, it will be re-established for increased productivity. That was the main news story.
Coming up, World News.
We finished with Watchlight, and now we take a look at World News. First, the headlines. Egypt rejects Ethiopia Somaliland port deal. Cameroon starts world first malaria mass vaccine rollout. Japan hopes sunlight can save stricken slim moon lander. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has declared support for Somalia in the Horn of Africa nation's dispute with landlocked neighbor Ethiopia. Tensions have escalated since the start of the year when Addis Ababa struck a deal with breakaway Somaliland to gain access to the Red Sea and build a marine force base. During a joint press conference with Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud in Cairo on Sunday, Sisi suggested that Ethiopia should use ports in Somalia and Djibouti for its maritime trade rather than attempting to control another country's territory. The world's first routine vaccine program against malaria has started in Cameroon in a move projected to save thousands of children's lives across Africa. The symbolic first jab was given to a baby girl named Daniela at a health facility today. Every year, 600,000 people die of malaria in Africa, according to World Health Organization. Children under 5 make up at least 80% of those deaths. Cameroon is offering the vaccine free of charge to all infants up to the age of 6 months old. Patients require a total of 4 doses. The jab is known to be effective in at least 36% of cases, according to US researchers, meaning it could save over 1 in 3 lives. Japan may yet manage to salvage its moon lander, the country's space agency JAXA says, if sunlight hits it in the right place. The slim spacecraft was turned off just 3 hours after its historic lunar touchdown on Saturday to save power. Engineers had realized its solar cells were pointing west away from the sun and could not generate electricity. But the mission team is now hopeful the situation could improve as lightning conditions shift. The SLIM mission, also nicknamed Moon Sniper for its use of precision landing technologies, made Japan only the 5th nation in history to complete a soft lunar touchdown. But the joy of seeing the craft complete its controlled descent soon turned to worry as power levels drained away. Rather than let the system go completely flat, the decision was taken to put the craft to sleep. To end this bulletin of world news, headlines again. Egypt rejects Ethiopia-Somaliland port deal. Cameroon starts world first malaria mass vaccination rollout. Japan hopes sunlight can save stricken slim moon lander. That ends this bulletin of world news.
Development news.
High Commissioner of Sri Lanka to Pakistan, retired Admiral Ravindra C. Vijayagunaratne, attended the Expo 3rd edition of the Engineering and Healthcare Show on the 20th of this month at the Expo Centre in Lahore. The exhibition was organized by the Trade Development Authority of Pakistan in collaboration with the Ministry of Commerce and Export Development Fund of Pakistan. Over 200 exhibitors from Pakistan showcased their products across 26 sectors of engineering and healthcare industries of Pakistan. More than 600 international delegates from 70 countries participated as buyers and visitors in the exhibition.
Moving on with sports news.
Indian batsman Virat Kohli has withdrawn from the first 2 tests against England for personal reasons. The 35-year-old former captain has told Indian skipper Rohit Sharma that the side's management that certain personal situations demand his presence and undivided attention. The 5-test series begins in Hyderabad on Thursday. Kohli's withdrawal comes 1 day after England batter Harry Brook returned to the UK for personal reasons. Kohli, who played 113 tests for India, is 4th on their list of all-time leading run scorers with 8,848. He has not missed a test for India for more than 2 years, when he was ruled out of the match against South Africa in Johannesburg with a back spasm. That was sports news.
Go ekakiyana youth කට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sony's Indian arm has scrapped a planned merger with Zee Entertainment, which would have formed one of India's largest entertainment groups. The $10 billion merger, first announced 2 years ago, was set to combine more than 75 television channels, film assets and 2 streaming platforms. Sony and said merger conditions had not been met, but there have been reports of a disagreement over leadership. In response, Zee said it could take legal action against Sony. The closing date for the deal had been set as the 20th of January, but Sony said it was not met, as among other things, the closing conditions to the merger were not satisfied by them.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Go එකක් තියන youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account. NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Sri Lanka State Minister of Technology Kanaka Herath said the newly appointed Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, had met on Friday at India House in Colombo to discuss strengthening bilateral ties and collaboration in the technology sector, particularly around Sri Lanka's unique digital ID project. The meeting held at High Commissioner Jha's invitation marks a positive step in the ongoing partnership between the two nations on technology and digital initiatives. Both parties expressed their commitment to working closely together to leverage technology for mutual benefit. The collaboration on digital identity holds significant potential for Sri Lanka. A successful Sri Lankan unique digital ID system could streamline government services, boost financial inclusion and improve security.
Weather report.
And finally, we take a look at the weather report. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Sabaragama province and in the Galle and Matara districts after 4 p.m. Mainly fair weather will prevail in other areas of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western Sabaragama and central provinces and in the Galle and Matara districts during the morning hours. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. Sri Lanka's inflation rate rose 4.2% in December. Health Minister says measles vaccine already administered to 91% of children. 6 police teams probing Beliatta shooting that killed 5. PMB buys paddy for first time and earns profit. Navy seizes 65 kilograms of heroin valued at over 1,626 million rupees off Donra Head. An MOU has been signed on visa exemption for holders of diplomatic, official and service passports between Sri Lanka and Benin. In foreign news, Egypt rejects Ethiopia-Somaliland port deal. In sports news, Kohli to miss 2 England tests for personal reasons. That ends tonight's news broadcast. The time reads 2.5 minutes past 9 o'clock. This is Radio Sri Lanka.